Isn't it like not a good experience or feeling when you're watching everyone around you buy these latest and greatest televisions and you're with something that's maybe not as new and you're sitting there like, man, should I upgrade? Is it time? Today, I'll be giving you 3 reasons to love your current TV. Now, if you like content like this, that's just what I do here. Smack like on this video, subscribe for more, and let's get into it. So, all that glitters isn't gold, okay? Everyone is trying to sell you on the idea that everything that you buy the moment that another product comes out is immediately something you should just throw away for the newer model. But the truth is, we've seen on TVs like the Samsung S95B that updates are ruining products. This is a common theme happening across multiple industries and is becoming more and more frequent. Well, that means for you, if you didn't update your television up the wazoo, and frankly, maybe if it's something older that doesn't even support Wi-Fi or updates, you probably have the same exact product you purchased on day one. A lot of the newer TV owners nowadays can't say that at all. So in this aspect, you're actually winning something that's so special, and honestly, it's a legacy feature for old buyers where you buy a product and it is what it is. What you get day one is what you get the day it dies. And I think that's something so beautiful that we've lost through the Wi-Fi only and always online and DRM world. And DRM is digital rights management, where basically everything digital is controlled all the time. And, it's always so funny because, people think that they make choices, but the big decisions were already built. The road was already paved for you. All you can choose is decide if you want to go left or right, but you're going to go the course that they charted for you. And in that respect, I think that's what changes about the television world with AI and all this other stuff. Speaking of AI, that's reason number 2. Everything is pretty much the way of automation. You don't have user controls like you did back in the day. We used to see Sony TVs, for example, fleshed out with so many features, it would be almost overwhelming. Now that's been scaled down and it's nowhere near as grandiose as it once was. So what does that mean for us? Well, simply put, it means that we kind of have to just hit a toggle and trust that it does its job. But that's not fun for us because maybe if it was just in the middle and we had a middle ground, it would have been good for us. Or maybe if we're somebody that really loved that feature, being able to go to the most extreme would have been great. It's always good when you have options as a consumer. And this world of AI, automation, and making life more easy sees people lose control over things that we used to have. Take the LG C1 for example. It used to have a feature called OLED Motion Pro, allowing you to make multiple adjustments to your motion processing. Now everything is done with one switch, it's a toggle. Is it simple? Yes, of course, and for ease of use, that's wonderful. But for people who know how to take advantage of these features to get the most, it limits your ability to get a better picture, again, making you upgrade sooner than you probably would have. Now, again, I'm not trying to tell you what to decide on or how to feel. If you want a new TV, it's totally within your grounds to do that. But I'm just telling you that everything that glitters isn't gold. And it's an important thing to note that right now we're kind of going through something of a recession, even though people don't want to put a name to it. And the inflation is at a record-breaking high. A lot of big tech companies are laying off historic numbers of people, and we are going to continue to see that. But what does this mean for you and your current TV? How does that even play into this whole conversation? Well, if you take into account that inflation saw over 12,000 workers in a lot of areas in big tech being laid off, that means when you go to call in, a lot more jobs are going to be outsourced. They're going to try to find a lot more alternatives like, again, digital robots to even answer. And that communication barrier is massive when you're trying to explain a real world issue and you just need to get a hold of a person. And that is going to really taper off your experience, combined with the fact that companies are just losing money now. And so with the loss of money, they're not going to try to replace every TV complaint as being broken with a brand new model. Instead, they're going to go the route of, well, we'll send a technician out to put a patchwork quilt over it. And maybe the issue opens back up down the road. I've seen this happen so many times lately to where people are like, hey, I have an issue with my television, and they're like, well, send us proof, send us the receipt, send us a bunch of stuff that you probably no longer have, and then we'll send a technician out. People usually get hung up on the receipt part, because if you're like, I don't know, 29 days into your purchase, and you don't have a receipt because maybe you didn't buy it online, you bought it in store, that's usually where the buck stops, and it's really unfortunate, but this is kind of the way it goes. Now, a lot of this wasn't the case back in the day when you just bought a TV, maybe let's say 2010 or 2015. It was a lot easier than it is now. And of course, those of you guys who have legacy TVs that are even older, kudos to you, because you have things that we don't even have at all, like the 960 hertz motion refresh rates, like all the cool stuff that we saw in the plasma days and things like that. You know, it's watching everything kind of be reduced to more of a minimalist thing every single day. And the best way I can point that out to you is, look at architecture around you. It sounds irrelevant, but you know how buildings used to have character and now they're just flat, gray, and bland? That's kind of what the TVs and technologies are turning into today. Everything's automated. You don't need to think, we'll do it for you. And I think when that's the case, you're better off with maybe something that gives you a little bit more choice. Is it the cutting edge technology? No. Is it going to be the most beautiful picture on the market? No. But there are still beautiful things that you can admire about your current purchase, and you don't always have to feel left out. So hopefully this video helped you out a little bit, and if it did, smack a like on this video and subscribe if you didn't already for more like this. And thanks, as always, for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Till the next video, I'll see you guys later.